Hey, I almost forgot. About did it again, didn't I? Man, I gotta quit doing that. Wow. Anyway, yeah, somebody give me an audio and visual check now, if you would. I would appreciate it. I just about forgot again. Wow. All right, cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, sweet. So let me say hi to everybody. Hey, Melissa. Bobby, good to see you. Tab P. Hey, guys, I know Mark's on right now, too. Mark Pyers, Real Talk. So, yeah, I'm going to try to keep this one, not really all that long. I'm just going to get kind of to the information. We can talk a little bit and all of that. And because I'm sure everybody's wanting to pop over there and check him out. Yeah, so before we get into any of that, I want to say thanks to and hi to a few people: Julie, Tab, Brenda, Shine On, Sissy, 2103, George, Proud Texas, Nicole, Linda, Julie, Angela holding it down in the Bronx for us, baby. Garrison, Heather, Christine, good to see you. Jay, Brian, hey, I liked your snow on the ocean pics, Christine. Those were pretty cool. Brian, she's got a channel, guys. Go sub up to her. She puts, she does her own, takes pictures and stuff on the beaches and stuff, and puts music to it. It's pretty cool. G. Meisner, Juana, May, Brian. Okay, guys. I wish I could sit here and say hi to everybody, but obviously that's not really possible. So we're just kind of get into this. So yeah. Snowstorm. Oh, really? Okay. Well, here, let me help the mods out here real quick. Here you go. Bye. Call people names. That's an immediate bye-bye. Just so everybody knows. It is what it is, guys. Yeah, we don't even need to go there, do we? We know the rules here. Can't call people names. Can't use vulgarity. And other than that, it's pretty much a free room. You can disagree. You just got to disagree respectfully. That's all. But if you call people names, man, that's just a little too over the line. So we'll go ahead and get into it. Oh, really? Okay. That's fine. Mods, take care of all that for me if you would. It's okay. They must be out in force tonight. That's okay. We're all good. Most people that come in here and say stuff like that, they have like 30 sock accounts. But it is what it is. So we'll just keep moving on. We got the Schumann resonance here, guys. We do have a little bit of a spike here. Obviously. So yeah, if you look at that, that's definitely a big spike. It's something that we're going to just have to accept. Now, what I want to point out here, guys, this is all going to fall in together. Okay? It just is what it is. So, yeah. You got a steady increase in vibration. All right? So what I'm talking about here, guys, is you got an uptick here in the Schumann here, back here about a day before this, and it got a little stronger this day, and then today it got really strong. So yeah, loud ringing in your ears and all that kind of good stuff. It's all good, but don't rule out physical ailments if you guys are actually having big time issues like heart palpitations and all the above. It is what it is, We'll just leave it there, I guess. But as you got this going on, we also have this happened during the magnetic storm, right? So wherever that came from, or wherever the magnetic anomaly was going to end up, it actually showed up on the surface here. There was actually some stuff going on with people's equipment. Satellites were actually having some glitching and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Now let's see here. So we got the Schumann also But then we gotta take into consideration we had a geomagnetic storm. Okay, whenever we're having stuff like this going on, we have to keep in mind that some of this stuff can actually is what we expect. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to tell everybody, for a while now, what to expect during a geomagnetic like level 1 storm, and the stuff that I'm getting ready to show you is actually stuff that can happen during that. And I've been showing you guys for a few days now how our magnetosphere has been reacting. Even before this, we had some stuff going on behind us, remember? And even in the front, it was coming from everywhere. So, that is what it is. But yeah. Oh, just one more suggestion over here, guys. Let them say whatever they want to say. Just don't engage, okay? My mods will take care of it. It's okay. It is what it is. They're allowed to have their opinion. But, if they're spamming the chat and if they're, causing disruptions on purpose just to be that way, that's okay. They can do whatever they want. It's all good. Just, my mods will take care of it, guys. Don't get yourself upset or anything. It's not worth it. But, yeah. So, thank you, mods, for being here and helping me, and, with that. So, hopefully the subscribers, I know you guys are very, very intelligent, and it is what it is. So, we'll just move on from there. But anyway, we had a geomagnetic storm, and I'll give you a little update here. There is no flaring going on. There is no radiation storms. Geomagnetism is actually on the uptick here a little bit. It's actually calmed down a little bit, then it started bumping up. I think it's going to bump back down. I don't think we're going to have too much issue right now as far as further geomagnetism disruptions of what's going on right now here on our planet. You can look at the ACE data here. Everything's pretty quiet, so I'm not even going to waste time even messing with trying to go there. Hey Justin, what's up? So yeah, so if you got, this is the phi angle, that's the polarity. Nothing much going on there. It's jumping around a little bit. BZ is really kind of hanging around an angle that isn't really all that great for energy to be getting into our system. Temperature is slightly up, but not much. Density definitely is dropping off here, and you can see kind of the solar wind speed itself kind of peaking. It's spiking back up just a little bit. But what I will mention here is we're still hanging kind of high on the norm range for solar wind speed. Now you're looking at 3 to 500 for normal wind speed, but 5 to 6, anything above 500 is most definitely above normal. Usually we'll see some hits on our magnetosphere when this happens. Also with the density here, one or the other can cause it, or both at the same time. If we're above 4 on density and we're getting hit, typically we'll see a little, smack on our magnetic field. It doesn't usually do a whole lot unless it's really high. But usually with a lot of anomalies that come at us, such as, if you get a CME, you're going to have both of these spiking at the same time. With the solar wind stream, you're going to see the density spike. It's going to get here a little bit higher density before the speed itself gets here. That's usually what we see with like a... Hey Mark, what's up? With like a coronal hole stream. So, that's what I would say. But, again, to the magnetic anomalies. That's really what I want to talk about right now because it's a good way to show everybody what's actually going on. Mr. MBB3 has been doing some good work past couple days. Well, he always does anyway. But he's been showing some stuff that some of his viewers were sending in to him. He's got a subscriber that has that does like time lapse of the sky, and she was seeing a glitch on separate devices at the same exact time. So that's, it was like 6 or 7 different devices he was saying, and it's very and then what's kind of strange about it is the GOES satellite was having some glitching also at the same time. So that's all pointing towards magnetic disruption, and that's exactly probably what we were seeing. Now, and I also want to point out the fact that where this lady was at was in Spokane, Washington. So it is, quite closer to the North Pole than most of us. And we all know that those charged particles come in easier up that way. And if you remember the aurora graphs that I show you guys right here, okay, this is the North Pole, this is the South Pole. I'll put them in motion here. Actually, I'll just grab it and I'll show you. See? We can almost directly relate this. When you see an uptick here in the aurora, we can go down here and right at about the same time, we see those magnetic disruptions. So it was probably right around that same time. Now the satellite, the GO satellite West, was actually glitching out at the same exact time. Now I went back and looked because this is what we look at on this, right? So this is today's. Now I want to show you guys something that I found here. So I'm going to play this. Now watch it jump time a little bit. You see that? I'm going to go back here and we'll play it again. I'll just do this. See it jump time? It jumps about 7 hours almost exactly. Now, so what I want to say is that, hey guys, if they want to say that's fake or whatever, that's fine. As long as they have an intelligent whatever behind it. If they're just in there trying to cause problems, you'll know who those people are. Most likely if they're saying that, they're causing problems anyway. But, if they're not being vulgar, if they're not attacking anybody, if they're just stating what that is or whatever, I understand that most people think that that's a ridiculous idea. It's just what it is. So, again, just try your best not to engage with that. But thank you, George, for that. That's and yeah, it's probably best maybe for this live stream if they start doing all that. Oh, my buffering. My buffering, everybody, guys, or just Julie? Okay, cool. So anyway, you got this going on. So I went back and looked at the GHOST satellite imaging, okay, and it's got this like 7 hour jump in time. Now, guys, don't make a big deal about jump in time. Sometimes it's caused from whatever's going on. Sometimes it's caused from scheduled maintenance. Sometimes it's caused from a whole lot of different legitimate things, okay? We cannot forget that. These are machines. These are stuff that does require maintenance to them. It requires, sometimes they break down. Sometimes they mess up. It's just what it is. So we always have to keep that in mind. We don't want to go too far the other direction, because if we do, then, credibility is completely out the window. It really is. And, I see people taking like an hour of lost data or lost time and making a huge deal about it. It's just not what we should be doing. Because especially like right now, guys, ISWA is down. There's quite a few NASA tools down right now. But if you go back and you look, they scheduled this. It's a scheduled downtime for these satellites. They're doing maintenance on it. They were talking about it a long time ago. So if you're hearing people out there saying, "Oh my gosh, this is down for whatever reason," they actually scheduled this one, okay? So please just kind of keep that in mind when you're trying to make your decision on what's going on. I'm not going to tell people how to think or anything, but just kind of keep that in mind. We can't always go straight to the edge and fall over. You know what I mean? Oh, is it back up now, Nikki? Okay. And it might be. Sometimes they get it up faster than what they think if they get their work done on it. That's just what they have to do. They have to maintenance these things. They have to do controlled rolls. They have to do calibrations. I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff that they have to do that would cause this stuff. And even weather, guys. If you get snow on the receiving dish of the data, that's a huge problem. Okay? They can't receive the data. So they got to go, try to fix it. And it's stuff like that. that we have to keep in mind that that's real life. But, but yeah, so anyway, I will keep moving. Oh, goodness, my back, guys, my back. So, to go back to this, okay, so we got 7 hours of missing data. Now, I think what's going on is they may be, this is, maybe doing some maintenance on this one too, but there was a magnetic disruption happening roughly about the same time. You can still kind of see it even here as I move forward. If you guys look at here, you see these white lines kind of moving up and down. It's just distortion. It's not really nothing to be going up, crazy. It wasn't like those beams that we were seeing, that everybody was talking about for a while there. And it's not like that. This is something different. Okay, these are completely horizontal, and it does look to be like a magnetic disruption that that's affecting the equipment. Is what I'm trying to say. So this is on the 8th right now. Now I went back and did this. Let me see if I got it pulled up. I may not. Let me do this real quick. Sorry, guys. So this was on the 6th, I think. What day is this one? What's the timestamp? Yeah, this is on the 6th. Now you're going to see that it jumped the same time frame. Okay, it jumped the exact same time frame. So keep this in mind. If it's dumping at the exact same time 3 days in a row, you have to understand that most likely that is a mechanical intentional shutdown. Okay, if it was something that was random, it would not be showing up in such a way like that. Okay, if it was a little bit more random than what it is, we could be having a different discussion right now. But with it being exact, it's kind of hard to say that it wasn't intentional, is what I'm trying to say. But it was at the same time, and here's the other thought I had, guys. If we're getting these blasts from the sun, and we've been having these magnetic disruptions, it would matter what side of the earth that this was on when this glitched out, what side the sun was on. So if we go this and we compare it to our Schumann data, and this is in Russia, so you got to keep that in mind too. So, that is what it is. We can all sit here and talk about this all day long, but I think we can all agree that was a magnetic disruption from the coronal hole stream that we've been seeing this stuff from. We've been getting blasted for over a week. So I do think that some of this was magnetic. It was from this energy coming from the sun. You can't really point back to this one for that. Maybe, but this was a steady increase. So, day after day after day. So I don't want to go too far with that, but at the end of the day, if you guys go over and hear what I'll do is I'll take you guys over to Mr. MBB3's channel, and we will take a look. Just real quick, I want to show you just what one of the magnetic disruptions looked like. Okay, even his thumbnail has got what the satellite looked like. Now, they took that, what happened was they seen that glitch and they took it out of there because it was corrupted data. So I think probably that's what happened. Now, I'm not saying, I don't know exactly what happened there. So I can't 100% saying anything, but what I can say is that it does look to me like this was a very legitimate, could have been just from the solar storm. Okay, so let me put this in full screen mode, and I'll push play. What you're going to see here is you're going to see this, you're going to see the glitch. Okay, so I'm just going to play it real quick. Watch what happens. It's real evident when it happens. I think he's getting ready to play it. Maybe I went too far. There it is. See that? Now keep in mind, guys, she didn't just do this with one camera. She did this with multiple devices at the same time. And all the devices were giving her the same glitching. So that's, and it did it multiple times, right around the same area. So that most definitely does, to me, look like a magnetic disruption of some sort. And it was, in that same area that we would be looking for, that kind of thing. So I don't know exactly what happened there, technically or whatever, but I will say that I do think that that definitely had something to do with the magnetic disruptions we've been getting for the past. We've been seeing our magnetosphere bumping around, guys. It's just that simple. It's been moving around for quite some time, at least for the past few weeks. Now, again, remember, IS was down, so, well, it might be back up now. I think, didn't Nikki say it was back up? We can check that real quick. It was quite a few of the NASA tools that they had down because they were using the same satellite stuff, so they had to take some of the tools down to fix it or do maintenance on it or whatever. So let's do this. Let's go over here and see if ISWA will boot up. It might. I don't know. So yeah. Oh, you want a link, Jeremiah? To Mr. MBB3's video? Is that what you're looking for, bud? I can go back and get you one real quick. It's not a big deal. Looks like this was back up. Is this loading? Well, let's check and see if it'll give us current data, because sometimes it'll load up old data. Let's check it and see what it does. Hey, Keith, Queen Brat, hope you guys are doing good. Okay, yeah, just a second, Jeremiah. I'll get you a link here in just a second. Let me see if this is giving us current data or not. Yeah, it looks to be. Okay. Now what you're going to see, guys, where it was. Now watch the timestamp. It's going to jump almost a full day. Okay, and the reason it jumped a full day is because they had it down. Now we are seeing quite a bit of wow. That's some pretty good magnetic stuff going on there. Yeah. Wow. Looks like little blast coming here and there. I mean, it's kind of what it looks like. Let's see what this is doing. Yep, same kind of thing. Okay, this one's doing the same thing. This one here actually shows, when you see it doing like the little wave action like this or bow shock, that is definitely coming straight from the sun. When you see that stuff, that is nothing more than just that. Now, what I will say right here is you do have what looks to be a little bit more of a, because that happened. Let's go back here and push play. Oh, I didn't hit reset on that one. We'll let that reload and see what's going on. So, yeah. Let that reload for a second. I'm just going to grab it and do this. So anyway, when you see the bow shock kind of waving, that definitely means we're getting stuff from the sun usually. Okay? It just really does. Hey, Susan, what's going on? Glad to have you here. So yeah, I mean, we're getting, we're definitely still getting some solar weather. And that's kind of what we would expect. Now, is this going to continue? I don't know. As far as NOAA's saying that it is most definitely just, looks like it's going to, they're anticipating this just to calm down and stay calm down. All right. They're saying, if you look at their predictions right here, they're saying we're getting ready to get another little bump right here. You see this 4? That's 4 on the KP, and these are 3-hour increments. These data points here. So their prediction is this next bar should be at a 4. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And no point are they saying geomagnetic storm, but at the same time, they didn't predict this geomagnetic storm either. Okay, that was something they didn't think was going to get that strong, and it did. And that does happen. Okay. Hey, Jeff, what's up, brother? Jeremiah, hold on one second, man. I promise you a link. Give me a second here. Oh, goodness. Okay. So I will share this video with you right there. Copy. Alright guys, here's a link to Mr. MBB3's video showing that glitching in the camera and in the satellite. And we were getting space weather at that exact time. Okay? And we do know that this is, like I said, this is further up in the north. Right? This is where it was at. This is where it was seen anyway on the equipment. And, you know, and plus the satellites were up here were kind of glitching out. Go 16 West was. Now, I don't know if that was down for maintenance or if they were working on that. I have no idea. But all I can say is they both were glitching at the same time. We were getting space weather at that exact time. So that kind of explains it. You know, so we can kind of look at that. Now, I'm not saying it's 100%. You know, there's other things that could cause all of that. But, you know, for me, if I can go back and look at it and point to the exact same time that we were still having space weather, it almost points to that, you know, that's where it came from. We got to be able to do that, you know. If we can't trace it back to the sun or trace it back to something, that's when we go look at other stuff, you know. You can't just automatically jump to the worst conclusion that you can think of. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that do that, and I was guilty of that myself for a long time. And I just have to be honest about that. I mean, that's what it was. Honestly, it came from not knowing any better. And once I became knowledgeable about how this stuff kind of works and all that kind of thing, it's you know, it's easier to go back and look at it and be able to tell you guys, hey, this came from here or this came from that. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say. And when I can't say that, that's when we go, you know, dig it into some other stuff that we talk about. So, you know, there's a lot of explanations for a lot of things. So that's, you know, and again, you know what I do here, guys. I show you observation. I never tell you guys how to think, and I never will. I won't. That's not my job, you know. That's right, Jeremiah. You said it. We are working together to figure this place out. Exactly. You get your link, man? I think I put it in there, didn't I? Here, I'll put it in there again. That's Mr. MBB3's video there. Guys, go check him out and give him some love. It was a good video. He did really good work on that. You know, the girl that sent him that stuff, it definitely, it was neat to see because I'm telling you guys, we don't always have a good answer for stuff like that. A lot of times we don't. So it's nice to be able to say, hey, you know, maybe this is what caused it. You know. So I really hope that that's, you know, what it is. Yeah, and I think that we have to understand that. You know, even, and I said this the other day, if you take all of the stuff that we talk about, like with conspiracy stuff and all that kind of thing, if you take all of that stuff completely out of the equation, and you just look at the specific, you know, weather that we're going to get anyway, that right there is enough to make you stop and look. Okay? Because, let's face it, it is an empirical fact that our magnetic field is now almost getting between 25 and 30% weaker than what it was. We're getting into deeper parts of solar minimums each cycle that we've not really seen before. They're having action, I haven't talked about this yet either, but they're having things happen on the sun that aren't what they expected. And it has to do where the sunspots are located. And it has to do with, sun cycles and how you compare that and all that kind of thing. And what they're trying to figure out where we're going to be here in the next sun cycle. And some of the stuff that they're seeing isn't necessarily lining up. And that, it's just not working out correctly. Now, what does that all mean? Your guess is as good as mine when it comes to stuff like that. Because, like I said before, if we go to the pole flip or the pole reversal conversation, where our magnetic poles switch, none of us have been here for that. There is no recorded data in history nowhere that says specifically talking about a pole flip. Now there's probably some writings or whatever from ancient people or whatever, but that's still up for interpretation, and all that stuff is still, none of us has seen any of that. So and it is what it is. We're gonna get stuff from all that. Space weather will affect us. When we look at, there was something here I wanted to show you guys too, and I don't know if I saved it or not. Let me do this. I think it's down here. There was a, let's see here, about space weather. Space weather research phenomenon. Coronal holes. Okay, right here. Geomagnetic storms. Okay, it tells you exactly what they are. You guys can go down here and do this yourself. This is over at Space Weather Prediction Center. You can get to all this. There's geomagnetic storms. I wanted to see let's see the coronal mass ejection. What's that one going to show us? Anyway, there's one over here that actually will show you each storm level and what you can expect to see. And I've shown you guys that multiple times. It's just this one's just a little bit different, but it's basically saying the same thing. Okay, I'll try to find it later and bring it to you guys. But we have to understand that some of this stuff, it's gonna happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And mainstream science will even tell you that. Okay, they just, they always try to downplay it a little bit, and they try to do this, and they try to do that. And that is what it is, So, we're left out here to try to figure it out sometimes on our own. And, unfortunately, like myself, I get it wrong sometimes, just like everybody else. And that is really one of the main reasons I show you guys the observation. And I really hope you guys go look at this stuff for yourself. Because, yeah, exactly, Jeremiah, that happens sometimes. I mean, it's just simple as that. I really hope you guys go look at this stuff for yourself, because it does a couple things there. It lets you see it for yourself without me having to show it to you, okay? And then you make up your own mind. And then guess what? Maybe you have a different idea than me, and we can all, learn from each other. That's kind of what I'm saying. Because I promise you that if we took a poll right here in our chat right now, and we just asked one simple question, like something like this, when will the next, let's just do this, when will the pole flip occur? Okay, you're going to get 50 different answers in here. And what that does is that points to we don't specifically know. But it also causes all of us to think about it for a second, and then maybe a lot of us will go research it. So, you know what I mean? And so, yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. See, even right here, within these first 5, look. 10 to 100 years, hours, this month, when it flips, every 12,000 years. when we hit 40 degrees. You see what I'm saying? So that, you know, just that little bit of tomorrow. Yeah, Doug. Just that little bit. I mean, like, you're talking 8 or 9 people in here that fired off an answer 2 to 5. Daniel, right there. So, I mean, guys, listen. That's my point. It really is. That is my point. That we're all going to get a different idea. And then, yeah, tomorrow, that was kind of funny. When we, so when we look, you know what I'm saying? It causes us all to look at other things. If we're doing what we're supposed to and not just simply drawing a conclusion without entertaining all the data or what have you. Hey, Rob, what's going on? We're not doing the right thing, guys. And I think that we need to push each other, you know, to a certain extent just by giving new ideas. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, and whoever's right, awesome. But at the same time, it's bringing awareness just to a specific subject that probably needs awareness brought to it. Okay? And like I said, we're just taking all the conspiracy stuff and setting it aside for a second and just going off of whatever, just straight what we talk about. And that in itself, like I said, with our magnetic field being weak, with all this, you know, we can expect certain CMEs. It's going to happen. Hey, Julie. So, you know, I think that that's what we have to really concentrate on. And please go look at these tools for yourself. You know, every video, listen to me, guys. Every video, when I do mine, right here in this link right here, that's where I'm at. That's the page I'm at. So if you wanted to go to this, I mean, I could even drop links in the description if you guys wanted me to. But there's something else you can do too. You can simply come here and go down here to the bottom. Products and data. This is NOAA. Look at all these tools. These are all models. Every one of these. Okay? And then we can go over to ISWA. Look. These are all models. All these sub-tabs. You got all this stuff you guys can go look at yourself. Just on those 2 different sites. I mean, it's really, you know, it's a good avenue for people to go, you know, go look at. And if you want to know what some of this stuff does, you got to read sometimes. All you got to do is hover over the tab. It'll tell you exactly what it is. That's good, Rob. Seriously. Rebel, I should say. That's Rob to Rebel. I'm not sure if your first name is Rob. But yeah. So, I just really think that that's, you know, that's always been the goal of my channel. And that's really what I try to focus on. I want people to understand how to navigate to these tools. I want them to be able to look at it for themselves. And I want them to draw the conclusion for themselves. I don't want to put my thoughts into somebody's mind. That is not my goal. I'm not steering nobody's narrative. That is not what I'm here for. I'm here to try to just give awareness to a situation that could possibly happen. And I'm giving you guys the means to go look at this stuff. That's really what I'm here for. And the great byproduct of what I've done so far here is all of you guys. I mean, you guys are awesome. I mean, that's really the best thing I've ever gotten out of this channel was you guys. And that's the God's honest truth. You guys pick me up all the time. And I can't thank you enough for that. You know, sometimes you guys don't even realize you're doing it. But you are. Just know that. You know, and I've said that a lot. I've met a lot of good people through here. Yes, there's stuff that come through like did earlier where they were just smacking the live chat with a bunch of that BS. But, you know, that's to be expected. It really is. I expect some of that. So I hope you guys understand that has been the goal of this channel since the beginning. I know I don't say it very much anymore because I kind of forget to, just to be honest. But I really want you guys to go look at this stuff for yourself. And that's why I go into, sometimes people get mad at me because I go into detail. But I want you guys to understand what you're actually looking at when I say density. most of you guys could probably in the chat, because I've explained it 100 times, are going to be able to tell me that that's the density of the charged particles coming from the sun. See, and if you've never heard that before, that's going to sound like a bunch of word salad. But because I repeated it, now everybody knows it. At least the ones that are in here. So that's kind of what I'm saying here. And I really hope you guys run with that. I really do. So anyway, here's the auroras. This is all pointing towards that magnetic disruption. Again, we've seen it on GOES at the same time. Thanks, Kinley. I really appreciate that. I really do. You got seeds here, and seeds is doing something a little nuts right here, right now. LASCO C2. I don't know what's going on with this. It's only got 2 data points. Again, that's doing whatever. But we can still look at stereo A. Alright, this is our side view. It's something, you know, like I said, even though this isn't giving us an image, this one is. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying, guys? You see what I'm getting at with that? Just saying. You guys know where I'm going with that, so I'll just stop there. But I do, and the other thing that's actually coming into play, guys, is right here. All right, I'm not sure if you guys are seeing what's going on with this, but we've got a lot of 5+ earthquakes happening right now. This one just happened. That was a 5.7. That just happened, not, what, 45 minutes ago? We had a 6 just a little over a day ago, too. A couple of them. There's a 5.4 in Taiwan. There's a 5 in the Philippines. There were some big ones over here the other day, too. Up here in Japan. Notice where most of these are located at. These higher ones are on, you know, on the Ring of Fire here. That's pretty typical to see them there. All right. We're not really seeing them in too many odd places at this second. You know, but that can change in a second. If I go back a little further, there was one here in Peru, believe it or not. I'm not sure if this is it or not. Is that? There it is. Yeah, that's the one in Peru. But there's a lot of earthquakes popping off. And guys, these were popping off right when that solar wind stuff started hitting us. So I'm just saying that that's all related. This, it is all related. Every bit of it. Okay? Sun's off to the left here. This is our magnetic field and our magnetopause. Okay, this is our bow shock. That's our initial protection. Okay? It's the spot where the solar wind or charged particles hit our magnetic field. That's what the bow shock is. And it's basically it's trying to deflect all this stuff around us. And typically that's what happens because you can see the flow. But we're actually, you know, these signatures back here are signatures that I haven't seen on this model before. So I'm not sure what to think about this as quite yet. But you can definitely see things swirling around back here. You can see them going from right to left. And you have to ask yourself why. So I'll just leave it at that. You got, again, there's so many different things to talk about when we talk about all this stuff back here. And again, like I said, there's so many things to talk about. And again, my goal isn't to tell you guys how to think. My goal is to show you the observation and allow you guys the means and show you guys how to get to these things so you can see it with your own eyes and make up your own mind. And I know that, you know, sometimes that's hard for people. And some people don't have the time to do it. And I give my opinion when I think I need to. But again, at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. And if and when I do give my opinion, I tell you guys it's my opinion. Now, if I tell you something, like if I say, hey, that's empirical fact, then it's empirical fact. It's something that it's a data point that we can point to and say, hey, that actually happened. Everybody's seen it. Everybody agrees. That's what happened. That's what empirical factual means. Empirically factual. Okay? So that's kind of what I'm saying there. So when I use that word empirical, I don't say it very much, because there's not a whole lot that we can say that word to, because there's always questions. You know, and I know this is crazy for people to hear, but they still call gravity a theory. Now, we all know that there's something holding our butt to the ground, okay? I'm not saying that there ain't gravity. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't think that. I'm just saying that the technicalities of what we talk about there, technically, it's still a theory. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that it ain't true. All it means is it's still technically a theory that most of us just accept as fact. We all know something's holding us here, you know. What'd you say there, Sandy? Have you heard April 1st used to be when New Year was celebrated? Yeah, I've heard a lot of the date stuff. The date stuff is extremely hard to wrap your brain around. Hey, Wendy, what's up? It is. It really is. Because there's so many things that can cause the date to change, and one of the biggest things that we have to take into consideration when we're considering our calendar is the fact of human error. Okay? We can all go back and we can look at this stuff, and even the most educated people, you know, it's really hard for them to even pinpoint and say, this is exactly what happened. So, I'm glad you're here, Wendy. I really am. It's just, you know, I have a hard time thinking that stuff that happened 12,000, 14,000, however many thousands of years ago, that somebody wrote down or whatever, couldn't had a chance of being wrong. You know what I'm saying? And the people after him, maybe they were interpreting or not understanding what that person was writing. All of that stuff comes into play. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm saying. So when somebody says that, you know, that this is exactly what day it is and this and that, and that's another reason why you'll never hear me set a date. Because you're only right one time. You know, when we're talking about catastrophism, or however you say that word, it's hard for people. You know, there's a lot of people out there that will, you know, immediately stick a date on something, and I think that's a mistake. And the reason why is because what happens is when they figure out that maybe they were wrong, because up until this point they are wrong, because nothing's happened yet, guys. You guys understand that? So anybody that's ever stuck a date out there specifically and made some big huge claim around it has been wrong. So what they're forced to do is either come out on the internet and admit that they're wrong, or snuggle back, you know, and just get off the internet altogether. Or what I see most of the time, they will move the goalpost. They'll say, oh, I was wrong here, but here's the new date. And then they'll keep moving it, and moving it, and moving it, and moving it. And it cracks me up. I just don't understand that. You know, why do we have to be so exact down to like a day? We don't need to have it down to the day. If we're smart, we're going to be ready anyway. You're right, Linda. Exactly. Y'all only knows, that's for sure. And that's what I'm trying to say. When we start looking at things in different ways, it just it opens your eyes to certain things, even things that I never thought I would even be looking into. I do. And there's certain things that people have told me all my life that were supposed to have already happened, hasn't happened yet. So it, you know, in your own mind, see, here's the thing. The biggest problem I have with setting a date is the fact that when that date comes and goes, it sows so much confusion and loss of confidence in what you actually thought you believed was going to happen. So it actually causes you to rethink your whole mindset. If it's a big event and somebody puts a date on it and it doesn't happen that day, you immediately start asking why. And it really messes with you. And I don't want to do that to somebody. I got my own opinions on when things will happen, but I'm not going to even throw them out there because it's not even worth doing that. It's just not. Because, you know, instead of getting prepared, how about stay prepared? Getting ready. Stay ready. You know, if that's the case, if you're ready to go right now, it doesn't matter if it happens tomorrow or 30 years from now. You just got to be ready. Whatever ready is for you. Okay? Whatever you're comfortable saying ready is for you. And that's what I tell people. So, yeah. And, you know, I've been talking, you know, Rip Curl does a preparedness channel, and I'm going to have him on. I know I've been saying it for a few weeks, but I have to get a second monitor so I can get the Zoom thing set up correctly so I can bring him on my show. Believe it or not, guys, that stuff's a little harder to do than what you think. You have to download virtual audio cables, virtual cameras, all kinds of stuff. Then you have to have a second monitor to do it right, and it's just, yeah. There's a lot of technical crap with that. And that's why Rip hasn't been on yet. It's not his fault, it's mine. I want to get him on because he has a lot of good information. Let me do this at least for him, because I do believe in what he talks about. Let me go to his channel real quick. I want to show you guys. And what I like about Rip, he's down to earth. He shows you information. And he actually adds some humor to it. And when we do that, it's kind of like when you were in school. Like if you were trying to remember something, what would you do? You would add a song to it, or you would, just do something that would cause your brain to think about it. You know what I mean? So if we go here to his videos, look at all this stuff. He's got great stuff here, guys. Where's the one that I liked the other day? He was showing how to make fire starters. Where is it at? Where's he got that one at? Where the heck is that? Oh, he shows you how to make a rocket stove, too. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. So, I'm telling you, you can learn a lot from going over here. And here we go. Here it is. I really like this video right here. He did a really good job with this video, guys. He keeps it like short to the point, like I don't. Just saying. But there's his link. Go check him out. Go check out his whole channel. He's funny. I'm telling you, you guys would really learn some stuff over here too. I have, and and I like to promote people that are good people and are doing it for the right reasons. Yeah, he's doing it because he likes doing it. Because none of us would be here unless we like doing this a little bit. But at the end of the day, he still cares, and he lets you know that, and he puts humor behind stuff. I love that. Yeah, Axe has got a channel too, guys. You guys want some good music, go over there. Christine, she does great photography. Guys, you guys know, everybody in here, we got to support each other. We have to. Nobody's going to support us but us. That's a simple fact. That's something I've come to understand. It took me a minute to get there. I didn't want to believe it. It really did. It took me a minute to get there. I was like, well, why do people have to keep, doing this and doing that? And I finally realized that people, I realized that I had some help getting my channel started. I had, and then after that, I have people that I need to, talk to and stuff, and we help each other. Hey, Menacing, what's up? Tab, I hope you're feeling better. Prayers for everybody in there. Guys, got to pray for Tab too, guys. Okay? She's having some issues. Keith and Queen Brat. Got to pray for them. Pray for all of them, really, guys. I mean, everybody. Also, Mark Fugel, guys. Go over and check him out. You know, he gave me a love bomb one time, and I gained like 1,000 subs overnight. That was kind of crazy. But that's, you know, and Adam's a good guy. Me, him, and Mark are trying to work a collaboration out right now, too. So, we're trying to get that into works there. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that. That would be kind of cool, I think. I think you guys would enjoy it. I think Mark's audience would like it. I know Mark's audience would like it. Mine would. I hope you guys would. But yeah, I think that, you know, at this level, at this time, guys, we have to support each other. And, you know, and this is why I'm doing this right here. I'm getting ready to go over here. I'm going to go over here in the chat. I'm going to be in the chat probably for an hour or two. Mark's funny. He cracks me up. He's a great guy. Nothing but positivity, love, and great music comes from him. Okay? Just so you guys know. That is a simple fact. Nobody can say anything else. 700 and how many days in a row now? 768 days or 69, something like that, in a row he's live streamed for 2 to 6 hours. I mean, come on. But yeah, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my PayPal link in the chat here. If you guys want to help me out, great. If not, all's cool. Never expected, always appreciated. I love all you guys. Anything you guys help me with, I am so appreciative of. I can't say it enough. So I do thank you guys. I really do. But yeah, my P.O. box too. Some people like to do the snail mail, which is cool with me. I like getting the letters. It's awesome. And oops, I'm going to I'll put the P.O. box down here too. But all this stuff's in my description box too, guys. I know that I waited kind of late to do this. I do this every video almost, but it's not my main concern, guys. You guys know that. I didn't even do any of this till like 2 or 3 months ago. So, but I do appreciate it. I want you guys to know that. I can't even tell you guys enough. I really can't. I was so humbled. I really was when you guys really did stuff like that for me. It really, yeah, kind of took me aback a little bit. I get emotional about it. But the Schumann, guys, it's still kind of acting up. But I do think it's because of all this magnetic stuff we got going on. It probably has all something to do with it. So, yes, please go check out Axis Channel 2, guys. I wish I could drop links in there for everybody. Guys, it just takes way too long. Christina's channel. But yeah, guys, I will be going over to Mark's. I hope to see you guys over there. I'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on with the space weather stuff. And God bless. Yahusha saves. And you can drink this Kool-Aid.